Do you know that the colors you surround yourself with can actually affect your energy? My next guest is a color and energy analyst and the author of Medium Rare, with her own special story and own special gifts. Welcome, psychic medium Linda Lauren. How are you?
Great. It's wonderful to be here.
Thank you. Well, I love this book, and tell us a story about this book, about what that's in the book to share with people. Medium Rare.
I see, as you can see from the cover, I see colors coming out as bubbles from people's mouths. So I will see, when you're speaking, different colors come out to me.
What colors?
Right now you have blue. Believe it or not, you may be wearing yellow, but you have a lot of blue, which means that you're in a very communicative place right now. So you want to communicate, you want to write, you want to express yourself. So that's what that means.
That's wonderful.
In the book, I think I was about 5 years old, and I had a relative who wasn't feeling well, and I didn't know it, and it was an uncle. He came in and he was speaking with red. There's a lot of red.
And bubbles.
All these bubbles, and for a 5-year-old, it was like, oh, wow.
Oh, yeah,
and
it's fascinating.
And I said to my mother, I see bubbles coming from, Uncle Mac's mouth. Well, what color? And I would tell her red, and it was because he had high blood pressure and had just found out. But I don't know that. I'm 5 years old.
Right.
So I'm
You're also a fourth-generation psychic. So, did you have any special training from your family?
I would say my grandmother on my father's side and my mother. They both had a lot to do with kind of nurturing it, teaching me what meditation was or what being silent and going within was. Sort of like a child's timeout, but you're not having a timeout. It's for a good reason.
Right.
My grandmother would tell my mother to let me know, to write down colors and let me know what the colors might mean. So this is how I discerned what the colors would mean with people.
Right, because not everybody sees the colors, but that's
right, and
one
not
of your
everybody sees it the same way.
Right.
So eventually they would keep notebooks, and they would teach me about it and tell me, well, then red means this, blue means that, and this is how they associated it. And back in that day, we really didn't have the books you have now that talked about clairvoyance or the chakras or the energy systems of the body or colors. We didn't even talk about colors.
Because the vibration of colors all mean different things.
Absolutely.
Now, you also read animals as well as humans.
Yes.
What's the difference when you get into an animal's mind?
I feel that you have a closer communication with an animal.
Why is
because
that?
you're not hearing them verbalize. When you actually hear words, you tend to change the words to suit how you want them to make you feel.
Right.
An animal doesn't have that same communication.
So how do you pick up what they're
You pick up the
communicating?
vibration from the sounds they make, from the movements they might have.
Oh.
So if a cat is purring, you have to discern what that purring means for you in your communication with your cat.
Right, because
it could be a
sometimes
good thing,
purring-
it could be a healing, it could be an injury,
Fearful
it could be
thing, right.
many things. So that's basically how you communicate. You tap into the energy of the pet in terms of how it's feeling and it's portraying those feelings to you.
So that you're as accurate as you possibly can be when you're conveying that to a
and
human.
verbalize with animals.
Right.
Dogs and cats, they know. They know.
Oh, sure they
I'm not
do.
so sure about snakes, but dogs and cats do.
Well, I'm not sure I want to know about snakes, but that's okay. You have an app. It's called The Vibe.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I do something, I call it Linda Lauren's Energy Art. And basically, all the colors that I see that come out of the mouths of people when I'm reading them, I have created several different programs I put together on computer, and I do artwork based on their aura, their energy, the colors that I feel. And this app, it has a randomly generated artwork program within it, and when you click on it, it will say, well, what color do you want to tap into today? And a picture will come up, a random picture, and it will have a saying as to what that color or colors can do for you that day.
Okay, great. So in a way, it's not predictive, but it just kind of sets the tone and the mood for the day.
Yes, it's designed to make you feel better about your day, to set the tone, so to speak. Yes, to set the tone, yes, and it's through iTunes.
Good. So what is psychic profiling?
Psychic profiling is looking at a person, for me, and telling everything from their handwriting to the colors that come through for them, to the mannerisms that they are projecting that might not be healthy for them. It's a way to tell me what you need right now to help you progress into the future. Too many people are stagnant, they stay at a certain spot, and they really need some kind of help to move forward. Movement's very important, but not everyone is using the right colors, the right information. Whatever's coming to them, they are reacting, because we're living in a very reactionary world. And you have to be very careful about what you react to, what you endorse on social media, and how you project yourself. And so I help people to discover what is best for them through the various means of the mediums that I use, from handwriting to color and energy to
So you're with
meditation.
somebody and you go through all that, or can they send you information, like
They,
send you handwriting?
it doesn't have to be in person. I have a global clientele, so we can. We do a lot of Skype. I do a lot of Skype. I do a lot of phone, and I do email.
And when you contact the dead, are you actually doing seances, or how
They
does that
call,
work?
you know, they call them seances. I would say every reading with those who have died is a seance, because a seance is merely a session where you're sitting and a give and take with the other side, those who have passed over. So, you know, it's a seance every day.
Well, you must have a lot of seances every day.
Yeah, I do. I do, and I love helping people. So
Now,
that's what's
not only,
important.
because we're out of time here, but not only do you have medium rare, you have 2 novels.
Yes, I
I have
have.
one of them,
Yes.
and I'm in the middle of reading that.
They're time travels, Sentimental Journey and Hostage in Time. And Sentimental Journey is a lot based about my family, my mother and father's romance.
Right.
But I fictionalized it.
Thank you so much, Linda. It's
Oh,
been a
thank
pleasure.
you. It's just a wonderful
My
time
pleasure.
here.
Thanks. Still ahead, she's a clarity coach with a simple solution for making goals and dreams into reality, and they all begin with the letter C. Find out more when Power Your Life returns.